Last we left off, you boarded a driverless carriage headed towards Castle Ravenloft to honor a dinner invitation extended to you by Strahd himself. During your travels, you were delayed by multiple constructs that seemed to be another attempt for the hags to seek revenge. Even though you appeared to have the fight mostly in hand, a dusk elf named Rahadin swept in to make quick work of the remaining construct and provide a personal escort the rest of the way to the castle. We resume, with you all stepping into the grand foyer. Cobwebs stretching between the columns that support the vaulted ceiling of the great, dusty hall, dimly lit by sputtering torches in iron sconces. The torches cast odd shadows across the faces of 8 stone gargoyles squatting motionlessly on the rim of the domed ceiling. Cracked and faded ceiling frescoes are covered by decay. Across from you, to the east, double doors of bronze stand closed. To the north, you see a wide staircase climbs into darkness. A lit hallway to the south contains another set of bronze doors, through which you hear sad and majestic organ tones. With that, Rahadin turns towards the dark stairwell, claps his hands twice. He looks back towards you. If you would please be so kind as to follow one of our many castle servants to your resting quarters for a fresh change of clothes, I know our host would greatly appreciate it. I must be off now to attend to... He kind of looks... other matters. Please make yourself comfortable until dinner.
And when is dinner?
And I look around and where can we make ourselves comfortable?
One of our servants will be with you momentarily. And he heads towards the east set of doors, pushes them open to reveal a long corridor. Can you guys see that?
Parts of it.
Parts of it? Let's see if we can... No? Okay. Anyways, the long corridor, dim, dark, lined with statues, probably every 10 or so feet, the entire length. Rahadin sets his torch into a sconce, and you see the doors start to close behind him.
This hallway, the doors are closed. I'm going to try to... Oh, behind us or in front of us?
The one to the east side.
Okay. I'm going to try to, peek my head in before the doors actually close.
Okay. Peeking through... let's see, what is that? You just see a grand hall just stretches into darkness, 60 or so feet. Your vision doesn't quite extend that far. You can just barely make out another set of double doors on the other side of the hallway. Was there anything in particular you were looking for down there?
Just looking, seeing what's in there.
Okay. As you're wandering around, you notice from the dark stairwell, you hear footsteps coming down. And you see a hunched figure standing probably just a little over 4 feet tall. Hairy face and hairy arms, walking hunchback, staggered with a limp. Looking at one of his feet, you can see that it's a webbed duck foot. His green cloak shadowing his face, but the torchlight as he moves reveals part of his face, lizard scales. And as he gets down closer, You must be the Gus. And you can see some of his dog-like features in his face and his patchy fur along his arms.
Master has instructed me to take you to pick out your wine. That'll be downstairs. As an act of good faith, he will allow you to choose your own bottles.
And he's kind of shifting back and forth, and you can see this large green cloak sweeping over him. Let me see if I can actually pull out a handout.
Ira, do you think this guy's the master of wines?
It's the Wizards of Wines. Hate to get his title wrong.
Maybe the
I
master
don't
knows.
get it. What the hell is that?
Looking on top of his cloak, you can see a large satchel and random things strapped to the back. You can see a scroll sticking out. That is what you see before you.
I'm going to try really
can
hard
I-
to hold my repulsion.
I'm gonna
Can I-
stare at his foot.
Can I try to roll to see what exactly he is?
Yeah, you can. You can give me a medicine check, a nature check.
Follow-up question: is he a fey, fiend, or undead?
I doubt it. No, he is not.
No. All right. Guess I'll make a nature check. And it's just the first one, the
Okay.
18.
Looking around, being familiar with a lot of different animal life forms, spending a lot of time out in the wilderness, you can recognize all of the different individual body parts that are mismatched and thrown together on this creature, but you have never seen anything where all of them have been brought together to make one creature. And go
okay.
ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was just thinking, is that a gauntlet, or is his wrist stitched to his arm in that? But I was like, oh no, it's a gauntlet. Never mind.
Okay. Let me double check and see what I'm looking at. Oh yeah, the little bracer thing down there. Okay.
Yeah.
Holding up the light.
Follow me.
And he just kind of starts walking this direction around the corner, and he kind of turns and waits for all of you to follow. Do you follow suit?
Slowly.
Yeah.
Hesitantly,
let's
but
do it.
yes.
Okay. As he steps around the corner, he looks at all of you and gestures upstairs.
We will be going up there. That's where you will be staying. But first we will go downstairs where you will pick out your wines.
And then he continues down the stairwell, not illuminated outside of the lantern that he seems to be carrying. And
I'm sorry, what's your name again?
My name is Cyrus. My name is Cyrus Bellevue. I am the caretaker in these parts.
You don't mind if I give us a little more light, you know? I just kind of nervous in new places, and I just like to be able to see what's going on, is all.
Mindful of your magic.
And he just continues walking down the stairs. You can sense a draft seeming to sweep behind you from the upper levels, swirling down, kind of creating a cold, windy atmosphere. And we will be... This is going to be a pain in the ass transitioning to all the different maps.
I'm gonna cast light as a cantrip.
Okay.
And just giving us a little more light around me. I will probably...
Regret it later.
maybe, but that's neither here nor now. And I will probably touch my red cap
Oh,
to
for
make it
your light?
light up. Yes.
Okay. What's the marching order look like going down?
Oh shit. Maybe I shouldn't have cast that on
I
me.
would say probably Anderson would be in front, like right behind this.
Yeah, I'm right behind
thing.
Anderson.
I'm right behind Nicodemus.
I guess the halfling's in the back.
Anderson.
What could go
Nicodemus.
wrong?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
So I'm actually going to snuff out that light, and Anderson, you don't have dark vision, do you?
Nobody
No,
has
I
dark
do not.
vision.
Perfect.
So-
Hey, Anderson, come over here for a second.
Okay.
Lean down. And the moment he leans
Alright.
down, I'm going to touch his hat, and it's going to light up like a torch.
Thanks, I guess.
Hey, don't want you stumbling into anything you can't see. It's, you're kind of leading us.
I don't know why that token's not. 1 second, sorry. 20. Okay, we'll see when I move you guys what happens. As you make your way deeper,
Okay.
the walls, even though the ceiling's probably 10 foot tall, cascading down, you can see cobwebs starting to form the lower that you go. And you reach the next landing, and can you guys see that? Okay, yes you can.
Yep.
Yeah.
You reach the next landing, and Cyrus is walking out ahead of you and standing in front of the next door, waiting for all of you to come closer. As you, Anderson, give me a perception check. Actually, yeah, go ahead, give me a perception check if you would. What's the
And
dexterity
this
save
is
for?
gonna be with sight, right?
Yes.
Alright, so just normal.
Okay. Being the first one down, kind of keeping a cautious eye out for everything, you can see a minor detail. Looking at the stone floor in front of you, watching where you're walking, you notice a casual lip, probably only about 2-3 inches, a separation between, I don't know, layers in the ground. And on the side, you see about a 10-foot section in the wall that appears to be made of slightly different material. But nothing else of note. Cyrus pushes open the door in front of you all and steps into a much larger hallway. This hallway, as the door opens, fog starts to creep in. This fog is about 3 foot off the ground. So anybody that is under 3 foot is having a very hard time seeing anything that is not
I will-
completely obscured.
Reach
Totally
out
covered.
and try to hold Penton's hand, like because we can't see very much. So
Actually, let me look at something else.
Does the light on my hat help like him see me?
Have you ever? He can see the light, but
The
have
light,
you
yeah.
ever driven in the fog with your brights on?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, you know that it doesn't work very well. That light
Yeah.
seems to only magnify the fog and make it even thicker to see through.
Gotcha.
I'm going
also,
to.
as we're walking through, can I just run my hand across the wall with like the different material, see if like anything happens?
Yeah. Walking through, you rub your hand across the wall, but nothing happens. It feels just as solid. It doesn't move. But as you're rubbing it across, you catch another spot where you can see a seam in between, as if the stone is not connected somewhere there.
I'm gonna
I'll
use. I'm gonna use Gust as a harmless sensory effect to try to blow away some of the fog.
Okay. Let's see what you got here.
Plus music.
Oh, Birth
Uh-oh.
Bot died.
It sure did.
Strahd killed him.
Oh, it's dead.
Good. There's no music in this home.
Resurrected him. Hey, look at that.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
Oh, now I got Groovy in there too. I don't want that. Mute. FFS.
FFS.
Get Groovy.
OFFS.
Sorry.
Awfully late in July.
Yeah. Steve's on the phone behind me.
That's okay.
So we either get a microphone that doesn't pick up anything or a microphone that picks up everything. There's really no in
Alright.
between.
Medium.
Nope.
All right, back to the just normal ambiance. There we go. Okay.
In the arms of an angel.
10 feet away from you. Or it clears. Where's that? Okay.
Create a
Yeah, you push the fog away. What direction are you pushing it?
I'm probably gonna try to push it out of what I'm assuming we're stepping into is the wine room. So back towards the staircase.
Okay. Yeah, you get rid of a lot of the fog, but still towards the east, there's still some small pockets of fog. Let me
As I
go ahead.
hold on, I gotta take this phone really quick. I'll be right back. I do apologize.
The universe does not want us to play today. Jesus Christ.
This is true.
Oh my god, right.
Wappo. Wappa.
What is that?
It's a necklace my son made for me.
Oh, that's nice.
It doesn't fit over my head, so I just.
You know what? That's perfect.
Okay, I'm back.
Leave it like that.
Alrighty. As Cyrus, what was that? Was that somebody's light?
What?
Nothing. I'm being a dummy dumb. As Cyrus continues to walk towards the east, you can see at the end of the hall bars coming down from the ceiling, and arched frames of stone form a low, wet ceiling. You can see small drips of condensation falling down, and Cyrus goes over and pulls on a sconce, and the portcullis raises.
I knew it.
Stepping in, you see a large array of casks. Great, massive casks line the walls, their bands rusting, their contents long since spilled onto the floor. And looking around, you can see a few hungry rats have made their home there. But as you walk in, they seem to scurry off into the shadows. Along the west wall, however, as he turns around, you see a tall shelving unit. And in that shelves, you see bottles of wine.
You can pick any one that you want. It will be served to you at dinner time.
And he kind of just stands off to the side and allows you to peruse the wares.
Yeah, what's there?
I want to, when we get in the room, I want to pull out the merchant card
Okay.
and kind of indicate to the party.
Anderson, looking at the shelf, you can see a lot of different years of Red Dragon Crush, Purple Grape Mash, but one of them catches your eye, a white wine. You haven't seen that yet. Named, as you pull it down off of the shelf, you see it, Champagne de la Stamp.
Well, for no particular reason.
As you pull that down off of the shelf, Cyrus lumbers over and snatches it out of your hands.
Not that one. You can't have that one. That is special wine.
And puts it back up.
Are we not special guests? You said we could pick anything from the shelf.
Yeah, next time you really need to be more specific there, partner.
And that's very what we have very few of those left. Master is saving those.
While they're
I
having...
kind of look at Ira, give him a wink, and when our friend kind of goes back, I'm gonna get his attention and say, so many wines here. What do you think tastes the best?
You asking that to Ira? Or you asking
Not
that to
to
Cyrus?
Ira, no.
Oh, to Cyrus?
To Cyrus, yeah.
Wine. It's lost
Also,
on me.
I'm coming over here.
No,
to
you're
put his
fine.
back to yeah.
Okay, he turns. He pats on some of the casks.
I prefer the older stuff. The stuff that really... lots of alcohol. Makes you feel really good inside.
While they're
gone.
having this discussion, I want to look over some of these casks and look for a cask that once contained the finest wine.
That's
Okay.
oddly specific, DJ.
Do you not remember our reading?
No, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, while you ask him that question, I'll come up behind and go, so what was Strahd's favorite?
I have not known Master that long. He has lost the acquired taste for wine these days. Prefers something with a little more bite.
Panton.
Was he trying to be funny, or was that him is that his personality?
He was trying to be funny.
Okay.
That was a vampire joke.
Yeah. I got it.
Yeah. Okay. That was him trying to be funny.
Okay.
Give me an investigation check if you're going to be
God damn
looking.
it. Yeah, that's fine. Fucking terrible roll, but here we go.
Can I do the same thing?
Aww.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Looking at the eastern and southern casks, you can see even on the ground purple stained floor, red stained floor, wine that had drained, evaporated, but still stained the stone underneath. But to the north, however, you don't see such a discoloration. But looking inside the casks, they are nonetheless empty, cracked, open. Looking inside the casks.
I want to help Anderson be a distraction for this guy. So I want to pull out my little wine vial and look, I don't even need wine. I've got my own. Check this out. And I'm going to drink it and cast false life on myself.
Okay. He just kind of looks.
Master will be disappointed if you don't indulge yourself in his wares. He is taken extra deep consideration for your tastes.
So I'm just trying to be as not obnoxious as possible, and so wherever Ira's looking, I'm kind of trying to distract him in a different direction.
Okay.
Anderson is just gonna say, now, I don't know much about wine. How is it made around these parts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm from my parents had an inn, but they never let us partake in the wine and showed us how to make it. So, do you know how to make wine?
I do not know how it is made. It is imported, I do know that. Long time since I've... No, mustn't.
Drag him
mustn't.
drag him over to a barrel and go, well, what do you feel about this one? And I'll try to open it and, like, shove his face into it a little. Be like, how's this aroma? Does this smell good? Is this your favorite?
The casks are completely empty. All of them are just drained, broken open, long since...
every single one in here. So
every
there isn't
single
choice.
one. Yeah, it's just the bottles that you have on the shelving. You can't really see the shelf in the picture.
Well, I'll attempt to reach one.
What were you saying, Nicodemus?
Oh, I was saying, inspecting the shelves, it's just purple grape mash and red dragon crush plus the one white wine.
There are several champagne Dula Stomps, but only a handful, maybe 5 or 6 of them.
But then the rest are just different vintages. Of
Yes,
red
different ages. Looking at them, we're talking. There's probably over 100 and some oddball bottles of wine on this shelf. It spans 7-8 feet tall. So
I'd like to find the oldest red dragon crush. I think.
Okay. Give me one moment. I'm trying to find something for
worries.
Ira.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to roleplay. This is literally a distraction so that guy can't see what Ira's doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah, I live with that. I'm sorry. That's not even a loud one.
Oh, is that his asshole?
No, it was his nose.
Oh,
I thought he farted.
I figured it was just, but I didn't even think it was a bodily function.
3 out of the 5 people that live here, 6 people that live here have allergies, and so every morning it's that. But that was a quiet one.
Ira, as you peer behind one of the barrels, you see nestled in the corner, just barely, a small leather-bound book with like a silver kind of binding that wraps around that, even like a clasp. I'm going to... It is now in your journal. It is, however, locked to where you would not be able to immediately open it.
Well, I'll pick it up.
But it seems to be the only thing of note.
Okay. I'll pick it up and say, you're the caretaker around here. If there's rats everywhere, is this the kind of wine we're expected to drink?
That is my food. I like feasting on them when I am in my chambers just down the hall. I keep them there. They are not going to bother you or your wine. Have you...
Okay, so I'm gonna take that as an indication that Ira's done looking, and I'll go, oh, well, honestly, they both taste the same. It doesn't really matter. Grape, purple, dragon, red, stompy, grape, whatever. I don't care. Just pick one.
While she's doing that, can I try to steal one of the Champagne du Leston?
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Hmm.
His
Okay, well, at
passive's
least you
gotta be
rolled
like
one.
6, though. So.
It was nice
Here's
that you rolled
hoping.
that great investigation.
With all of the distractions that were going on, Nicodemus, Anderson, Honora trying to talk to him, you tried to grab one of the Champagne du Lestamps from the top shelf, and as you turn to make sure that he's not watching you, you fumble it. And the bottle begins to fall to the ground. I'll give you one opportunity to try to catch this bottle before it smashes. Give me just a dexterity check.
It's still 50%.
We're gonna get in trouble.
As it falls, you realize that you don't have a firm grasp, and you stumble quickly trying to grab it before it crashes into the ground, but it slips out of your fingers yet again and splatters across the ground. Cyrus now turns.
You're being destructive in Master's home. Upstairs, all of you.
And you see him mad. He stands up about a foot taller now, just pissed. Coming over, lumbering, trying to sweep things up, picks up a broom and dustpan.
Listen, I'm sorry. I was just trying to pick the one I wanted. It was just high up on the
Clumsy,
shelf.
stupid. I should have never left my eyes off of you.
Well, all right. Well, maybe you should grab them for us instead of just standing there.
I haven't picked my wine yet.
He stops, and you can see him close his eyes, and he starts hitting himself, pounding his head.
Stupid, stupid, stupid.
Now, look, there's no need for that.
I mean, Panton can clean that up for you in a snap.
I really can. And I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation. And just
That
kind of
spell.
like,
Master will
into
know.
one big pile.
Master will know one of his wines is gone.
Well,
We can tell him it was our. We'll tell
was
him
a
it was
mistake.
an accident.
You're right. I was clumsy with it, but accidents happen.
He calms. You can hear his heavy breathing.
Tell him it
His
was my
chest
fault.
starts to compress, and his shoulders hunch back over again.
It was meant to be an act of good faith, to allow you to pick your own sealed bottle to drink from. That way that you knew that there was no funny business.
Well, I would hope that would be the
Oh.
case because your master already promised us that. I mean, that seems rather odd, heaping that on top of a promise already made, as if his word isn't good enough.
Master knows you're not from these parts, and he takes kind of like a shallow bow. He's trying to extend courteous gesture, make you feel even more safe, more comfortable.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you for showing us this lovely dusty basement. I'll take a purple one. Guys, any preference on your wine?
Anderson just points to one. It's like, that one.
And he grabs it down for you.
Was I ever able to identify?
The oldest?
Yeah.
Let me see. You find a bottle. One moment. What is the year now? It's like
2021.
I feel like it's 15 something. Current year 5E. 1491. You find a bottle that was made about 1100 years ago.
And it's 1491 now.
It's 1491 now.
I
You
can't
find a
believe
bottle that is dated 351 was the year.
I want that.
Doesn't
You
it go
take it.
bad?
Gonna find out.
It's
Um,
stored in a wine cellar. It should be
In
relatively okay.
all of my reading, back when I was a young tyke and hiding in my room, would I have read anything on the best vintages of wine? No, a little bit of a long stretch here.
I'd say it's probably. I mean, I don't know your character's backstory, but I imagine that probably wouldn't be super high on the priority list of reading for a child.
Probably not.
So I'm gonna say probably not, especially since you haven't encountered any wine that's not native to Barovia.
Okay.
Even any of the information that you might have gathered on grapes outside of Barovia, it wouldn't be of much use to you here.
So I will go to Cyrus and be like, do you have anything from the year 1473?
Was
Did
that
my
the
math
year
right.
that your character was born?
Yes.
He
Yes.
searches around.
And while he's
comes
searching
up-
around, I'm gonna look at Nico, not Nico, Ira, like, be careful.
He comes up empty-handed.
It appears that we do not have one from that year. This is the closest one.
And it's just 1402.
God. That'll work for me.
There's a span of like 1,000 years, and there's only probably about 150 bottles of wine there. So large gaps in the ages.
Really, we must go. Up the stairs we must. To your chambers, change into something a little more suitable for dinner. You're filthy.
I got this dress specially for dinner.
You were also in combat since then, in
I
the
know.
rain.
I know. But didn't Panton prestidigitate us all clean at least?
I did, yes.
And then doesn't somebody have mending and they fixed the tear in my dress?
That is
Maybe.
also true.
Yeah.
That's possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened.
No, yeah. You're right.
Oh.
That did
Oh,
happen.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were like, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Regardless, he is going to continue to take you up the spiral staircase, tracing back the way that you came. You see to your right as you're exiting to the northern side, you see a long, dark stairwell heading up, look like it's extending beyond your sight in the dark. And you see that this room this hallway is filled with doors, different doors leading to things that you can't see. But as he turns and leads you up the staircase, you are climbing for... How tall is this tower? One moment. Ira. Okay, I need to send you that as well. Don't read that yet, but I need to send it to you before I forget, Ira.
Okay. I also want to ask him while we're going up.
Okay.
I want to mention that we've heard that there have been no shipments from the Wizard of Wines lately, and if he knew anything about that.
Okay. As you're walking about 240 feet of stairs ascending, you pass, I think, 3 different landings, each leading to a different floor. You will come to... There's so many maps. He turns to you as you ask that question.
I know not of what goes on outside of these walls.
But you said you came into a surface recently. How recent is that?
It's been about 50 or so years since I've came from Kresk.
Eggs, we've not been there. Tell us about it.
Maybe over dinner I will tell you. Right now I must get you upstairs to get you changed.
You'll be
Filthy.
joining us.
Well, I will be part of the waitstaff, bring you things that you're looking for, things that you require. I will bring in the food. I cooked some of it myself. The
what
lobster
did you
bisque
make?
is to die for.
Oh, you made the lobster bisque? Okay, I'm allergic to lobsters. I'm sorry.
All of the food is not meant for everyone. You can pick and choose. There will be many different plates.
Just,
I
which, one-
love a buffet.
which ones have you made? So I just want to know that.
You tell me which ones you like at the end, and I'll tell you whether or not I made them.
I feel terrible about the wine. If it helps, I broke my bottle, we could say. If that would help.
I mustn't be so hasty to anger. It does not suit me well.
And during this conversation, you finally reach your way to one of the uppermost floors. I'm going to imagine the same marching Oh shit, that's not good.
I'm not seeing anything if we're supposed to be seeing anything.
Yeah,
at this
you're
point.
not supposed to yet. Oh, shit.
Okay, cool.
Shit.
Shit, I see the red beacon.
They didn't resize this map.
Ugh.
What?
Womp
How
womp.
dare they?
Fucking hell.
I
Gotta
see
be
me
careful
now.
where I put you guys.
Oh, I'm
Um,
tiny.
Yeah. They didn't resize the map, so
infinite
each of these squares
black
is actually
abyss.
10 foot.
Oh, I see my face.
So you'll have to hold down Alt as you drag yourself across the screen.
Okay.
I can't see anything.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
my
see me.
token.
I wasn't sure if that was what you looked
That's not by design.
up. Okay.
Shit. Oh, that's why. Where's Cyrus? Here, I'm just gonna cast light on you. Who'd you cast light on?
Anderson.
that'd be
Anderson.
Yep.
Anderson and his
Token emits light.
trifold hat.
What is it? 20/20 for bright light, low light?
Correct.
Did that
Okay.
make it better? Can you see
Yep.
now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I gotta get Cyrus on the map. Cyrus leads you up to the door. As you get to the top of this landing, you can see another stairwell that goes up even higher. Now the draft, the wind blowing even harder, chilly. The moisture in the air seems to be even more apparent since it's raining outside still. You can feel it in the wind as it's blowing down this stairwell. In front of you, you see a large portrait of a young, still human, Strahd von Zarovich. And he gestures at the door and swings it open and motions you in.
Escher and Gertruda will have your clothes ready for you, and then they will bring you down when dinner is ready.
Question: do we have to wear the clothes that are provided to us, or can I, just enjoy the clothing that I'm wearing right now?
Remind me again what your character is wearing?
The same stuff that I've been wearing the entire time, like a overcoat with a silken tunic underneath, no shoes, just silk pants.
He looks at you, up and down.
Master will not make you change if you do not wish, but it would make bad impression if you did not. Nothing ill will happen to you, I can assure you of that, but your clothes...
And you can see him. He is wearing tattered rags. Disgusting. They are clean, at least, but they are rather, I don't know, patched, moth-eaten. He's not the best dressed himself.
Will you be wearing your clothes during the whole dinner service thing, or will you be changing into something more appropriate?
Do whatever you wish. I must see to the final preparations, make sure the food is ready.
And then he starts to traipse back off down the stairs.
I don't want to eat anything that he's touched. Ugh.
I don't want to change into clothes
Yeah.
that's been in this dusty...
Oh, hi, ladies. There's ladies in here.
There are
No.
ladies in here.
There are not
Ladies.
ladies in here. Anyways, okay. As the thunder shakes the tower, heavy beams groan under the weight of the ceiling. 3 ornate lanterns hang by chains from these beams, each casting a dim glow. The curved west wall is fitted with 3 windows of leaded glass and steel latticework. A bookcase sits to the east wall between 2 doors. Plush, overstuffed chairs and couches are placed about the room. The fabric has faded with age, and the patterns it depicts are nearly gone. Lounging on one couch is a handsome young man
Oh.
whose attire,
Ladies.
while elegant, is worn and faded. Purple, long flowing overcoat looks at you, holding a glass of wine himself. You can see his ornate rings on all of his fingers. Just very, very dolled up, very pretty. Pale complexion. Welcome to your guests' quarters. I am Escher. It's a pleasure to meet you. And he takes a sip of his drink. And the young woman in the far corner turns to look at you all. Oh, we have new guests. I am so happy. I've already been laying out clothes. They're in the bedroom. And I'm just going to open up the door to the other room. And I'm Gertruda, by the way. Hi, it's so nice to meet you. Strahd's told me all about you. And she steps into the other room.
I just kind of look around and just like, what?
Miss Gertruda?
She pokes
I
her
bought
head
a-
back out the door.
I bought a dress special for this occasion. Is that not good enough?
Oh, I suppose it'll have to do. I did make something especially for you, but that looks cute. That looks fine enough.
I'm gonna go over
It wouldn't hurt
to
to look.
the other fella, and I'm gonna say, even though I'm wearing a lot of jewelry on my own hands,
Mhm.
I'm going to look at him and be like, those rings. How long have you been in here? Like, have you ventured outside of the castle, like, within the last, I don't know, 200 or so years?
Why, yes. I've only been here for, oh gosh, how long has it been? Maybe 4 or 5 years, maybe at the most. I am the newest, I guess, member of this here establishment. I caught Strahd's eye, and he starts looking at his rings and takes another sip of his wine. But I fear that he grows tired of me. That's why I've made my way up here to these, but it seems even now you've come to kick me out of these quarters, so I suppose I will be
You're
on
welcome
my
to
way.
stay.
Yeah, not kicking you out at all. It's just, all the jewelry that it's nice and everything, just kind of gauche.
Question. You said this guy has a very pale complexion, right?
Yes.
Can I tell he's a vampire?
Yes, you can tell
To
that he
sniff
is.
him.
You could tell
Okay.
but you can also tell that the complexion of Gertruda is still that of human nature.
And the wine that this guy has, is it actually wine?
You'll
I mean,
have
with
to
his
find
heightened
out.
senses, he might know.
Yeah, can I take a general, do I
Sniff.
smell blood?
Yeah, give me a perception check, I suppose. With advantage because of your sense.
Because he's a dog.
Yeah, because I'm a dog.
It really is hard to tell. It seems that it might be a mixture between the two.
Oh.
Ira will go ahead and say, is that purple grape mash or a dragon crush?
It is of my own making, and he swirls it around, and it is definitely thicker than wine. But I will say that the base is Red Dragon Crush. I don't mess with the peasants' grape mash. It is repulsive. And he just kind of shivers and spills a little of the red liquid over the edge of the cup, and you can see him as he opens his mouth to lick the side of it to make sure not a drop goes to waste. You can see his fangs.
We were just invited to select our own wines. Do you have a preference in year?
The older, the better. I like mine to be very old. Ancient, if you will. And he just kind of gives you a
I
little
don't think
wink.
he's talking about wines.
Um,
I'm gonna say to Panton.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk away from that guy. Hey, Gertrude, what you got for us?
and she, as you walk in, she kind of claps and, oh, I've been waiting for this. I've spent so much time on these. You know,
Been 3 days.
before I
What?
came here, I was locked in an attic for so long. My mom would not let me do anything, and then I ran away.
Did you used to have a dog?
Yes, I used to. I've abandoned that life now. We don't have to talk about it.
Was his name Lancelot?
And you can see a little flicker in her eyes, and then she shakes it off. And as she shakes her head, her hair kind of flicks off to the side, the few strands, and you can see bite marks on her neck. Fresh, but not very deep. You can tell that just by the size of the bite mark that these are not the type of bite mark meant to turn somebody into a vampire spawn, but more likely just to feed.
Yeah, she's cattle. Okay.
And she shakes her head. She's like, never mind that. I have come here, and Strahd has taken such good care of me.
Lancelot misses you. He's fine. I saved him.
Well, that's nice, dear. And she kind of walks over and she grabs Panton's hand and leads him over to the bed where a small black tuxedo has been laid out. All of these are basically tuxedos, very plain, just black, white undershirts, black vest. Like, it's very simple garments, but they are still, there's an elegance with how simple they are.
Do you have anything that, and I look over at the clothes, isn't black? Not my best color.
And you hear from the other room, Escher, I told you that one wouldn't like the black. You should have listened. And she's just like, shut up, Escher. Black was the only fabric that Master gave me. And he just kind of chuckles to himself in the other room. I'm sorry, I don't have anything other than black. You'll wear it, though, still, won't you?
I mean, I'm already pretty pale, and black makes me look even more pale, and it's just kind of not my thing, so I'm probably going to have to respectfully decline. It looks lovely and everything, but it's just, I got a certain look, and...
You could always wear the undershirt.
Does it fit him now that he's smaller? It's still okay. Still the proper size.
Did Strahd forget to mention that I was a girl?
Oh, yes. He didn't forget to mention. I have something for you. It's in the closet though, and she walks over to. Wait, where is Gertrude? Is she hiding underneath of
the bed?
Panton?
Maybe.
Yeah, she is. She walks over to.
Impossible.
A small closet, and she reaches in and she grabs on a hanger a white lace, like, what the fuck is the word that I'm looking for?
Lingerie.
No, what's the
gown?
White lace.
No. Hold on. I'm going to kick myself for not knowing this.
It's not a wedding dress, is it? God, no.
It's basically a wedding dress.
It's
like the, what's the...
Veil.
It's like doily. Like, what's the, like, little patterned, very thin...
Lace.
Yeah, that's lace.
Is it lace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also satin and a number of other fabrics, but
Either way, she pulls out a small white,
satin
velvet,
fitting for a knight.
almost like a wedding gown.
I'm kind of with Panton. I don't think that that's gonna look very good on me. I'm not that kind of girl.
Oh,
It's very beautiful, and a dainty girl would probably do it wonderful. If we could find you one, I could take it, and I know a little girl who would love that dress, and she's only a little bit bigger than me.
I'll
saddle up
probably.
there. I'm sorry, these two are very high maintenance. They're from
Well, we can't help
Very
it. We know what
well-to-do
we like,
family.
all right? So,
I'll probably just. I'll repurpose the material. Don't worry about it. And she hangs it back up and shuts the closet door and steps
I
out.
bet Myrtle would have really loved that dress.
Myrtle. That's the girl who's taking care of Lancelot now, I believe, right?
Yeah, Myrtle and her friend Reek.
Freak.
Reek. Taking care of Lancelot now. They promised to take good care of him.
reek rhymes with weak.
Where can I put my current clothes? I'd like them back.
He's in the room undressing.
whoa, dude, whoa.
Are you talking to Escher or are you talking to Gertrude?
Or Escher.
Escher? Okay. Anywhere will do. You can place them, and he's kind of lounging on this chase. You can place them right down there if you'd like. And he just kind of looks at you, hand cocked to the side, holding the wine glass.
But I will get them back.
Oh, yes, this is where you'll be staying. You'll be coming back here. If you would like to be our guests, that is, you're more than welcome to stay here for the night. I thought that would have been made clear to you.
I thought it was a dinner party. I didn't know sleepover.
Oh. Aren't they all the same thing, really? Drinks turn into sleep, I'm sure he's going to just offer you just to stay. But these will be your quarters. You can come back to them after dinner if you wish.
Okay. And Nico's gonna start doffing his armor and clothes and get dressed into his tuxedo.
Okay.
Does the tuxedo have tails?
Yeah. Yeah.
Full tail and
Yeah,
everything.
full tail. It's and it fits really well. It seems rather slimming. Like it fits on the sides perfectly, hiding any sort of love handle that might be there at all.
There's nothing to hide.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Anyways, it fits great. Fits perfect. The seams, length, stretching your arms out, just comes right to the wrist. That's awesome. The entire time, Escher is eyeballing you.
Don't forget to take off your armor.
I did. I said I'd doff
Oh
my
yeah, he
armor.
said it.
Are you putting your armor back on or are you leaving
Nope.
it off?
I'll leave it off.
Is anybody else getting ready?
I'll let Panton prestidigitation me one more time, but that's all I'm gonna do.
Prestidigitate you so hard. Because there's no way in hell I'm allowing the both of us to get into these clothes. This is way too creepy for me.
Gertrude, seeing Anderson kind of standing off in the corner, a little standoffish, she kind of does a playful bounce over the bed, like bounces on her hands and knees and crawls over and looks at you. Are you gonna wear what I made for you? Kind of cocks her head to the side.
Yeah, he cannot resist the puppy dog eyes. Is it just a straight tuxedo?
Yeah. Just straight
Nice. And
straight black with a little white undershirt.
Anderson will say, "You know what? Yes, I will."
And
But
as
I am curious though, how'd you get our measurements, especially so precise?
Strahd told me.
He just kind of like raises a finger, but then just kind of puts it back down.
You don't need to ask.
Right.
It's okay.
Now's the time I wish I had that spooky flute still.
Yeah, I'm gonna whisper to Panton. I'd be like, that would make me look like a doll. Oh, how insulting is that?
I mean, I don't blame you.
Ira, or are you changing?
I'll mix and match. I believe I had like a blue vest or something like that. And so if I could do that with the undershirt and the pants and everything, just to add a little bit of color.
Okay. That sounds good. Who is keeping their armor on?
Oh, I'm definitely keeping my own. I do not trust this.
Will it fit over top of the tuxedo?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Will it?
Will it fit? It'll fit over top of the tuxedo, but it won't fit underneath. It is too form-fitting.
Kind of sketch.
Yeah.
Me,
It would look really weird.
me, the player. I'm like, oh, I really don't want to do that because that would just look horrible. But
Would Anderson have enough fashion sense to understand that looks horrible?
see, I don't think
The
he
guy
would.
that carries around a dead head.
What?
Yeah.
Remind me again. What type of armor are you wearing? Is it leather? Is it
Studded leather, I think. Yeah, studded leather.
As you go to put it back on over your tuxedo, just kind of mashing, just looking atrocious, Gertruda turns and, oh, no, you look so much better. And she takes it and starts peeling it off, and as she's pulling it down your arm, she squishes her breasts together. See, like that. You look so good.
What is this one? Anderson just looks very awkward. He's like, all right.
And she hangs it up on one of the bedposts. It'll be here when you get back. And then she kind of looks around and she goes, and so will I, and winks and walks out the door.
You see, if this were any other setting, this would be totally alright, but this is just exceptionally creepy now, so.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I lived in an attic all my life, and now I'm part of a vampire
It's food.
castle.
Also, one thing I don't think I've mentioned before, because Anderson wears a coat. He's got like full sleeve tattoos. Does that show up when he stretches his arm out with the tuxedo by chance?
If
No.
you're taking
so.
your old clothes off.
But people would definitely see them when you took.
Yeah.
But no, they would
Gertruda
not.
would have seen it.
Yes.
You would have thought that you were extra manly.
Yeah, Gertruda would have seen it.
Okay.
But I also believe she's charmed as fuck, so I mean she's not right-haired anyways.
Mm-hmm. Do not stick your dick in
Are
crazy.
we in the room alone? Is Escher and Gertruda out?
Gertruda has fully left your common space. Escher is still lounging, and he just kind of yells out to the rest of you, "Whenever you're done, I'll take you downstairs."
Excuse me, Mr. Escher, could you please give us 5-10 minutes to talk amongst ourselves? We're kind of a private group, and well, yeah, we really appreciate a little time to kind of discuss things that are in vogue and not in vogue, and
Yeah,
things
I'm
that we
going
need to.
I'm gonna lean hard into this and be like, we have to go over the manners again, otherwise they're gonna really embarrass us. But it hurts
Yeah,
their
so-
feelings.
I mean, you
she
saw
says
what
that,
Anderson
Anderson's,
did there,
pulling
trying to
his
put the
collar.
leather on the tux and everything. We just need to cover a few different things. And honestly, I think they're a little embarrassed about it. So, yeah, if you could just give us 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that'd be great.
Just kind of flicks his hair over his purple coat, stands up and surveys the room. If you must, I will be just on the other side of this door waiting.
And you know what? If you can find me a coat like yours, but in my size, that'd be great.
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we don't carry things like that. It would have to be made special. I could possibly arrange to have one by morning.
That would be lovely.
Purple? And he
Yes, purple would be absolutely wonderful.
And he bows deeply, holding his glass up still. Then it shall be yours. And he steps out the door.
One last thing. Anderson never took off his sunglasses. Did Gertruda say anything about that?
Nope.
Okay, he's keeping them on.
Okay.
As soon as Escher leaves, I'm going to grab a blanket or a sheet or something. I'm going to stuff it at the door to try to muffle that little bit. And then I'm going to look at everybody and be like, bedroom.
God, this thing is tight. What the... Really, this is what y'all wear?
No.
No, not at all. And in the bedroom, everybody...
Halfling fashion is very different than human fashion. That's all I gotta say.
And we'll go up to Anderson and, like, adjust everything, because I assume that they were, like, made perfectly, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to, like, just readjust everything. It's, like, it's tight because you've tucked in this, like, way too far, and it's kind of fuss.
All right, guys, come on.
This is very awkward. I thought you two were well-mannered and
so
been raised.
No, we were raised better. And what the fuck is this place all about?
It's a vampire castle, Panton. Did you not read the memo?
I got that, all right? And I'm thoroughly creeped the fuck out. Pardon my French, all right? Or pardon my... Yes, I can't say French.
Dwarvish. It's Dwarvish.
Pardon my Dwarvish. But, all right, we have to be on our best behavior, and let's try not to piss off Strahd at all. Hey, Anderson, you remember what we told you about the forks and everything, right?
He's just playing with his collar a bit. I think so.
Start from the outside, work your way in, okay?
And he's just trying to, like, visualize it.
There you go, perfect. Just if you have to question it, just look up at us, and we'll give you a nod or a shake if you're choosing the wrong implement.
Okay. Do you guys really want to leave your stuff in this room? It's kind of a long trek up here if we have to leave in a hurry.
Just real quick, Nicodemus and Ira, are you still in that front room, or are you also in the bedroom?
I mean, I assume that
it's okay either way. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're all together.
Followed the
I
followed the party, but reluctantly. I find this all very awkward.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah, I changed in front of my best friend, but then came in the bedroom.
Wait, but Anderson was inside the bedroom.
Yeah, we all got naked in random times.
Escher wasn't.
Escher is your new best friend.
Escher and me are buddies.
I think they're even more than just best friends.
Probably.
He likes your man meat.
Yeah, so we have the bag of holding, and... Alright, do I know that we have the bag of holding? I don't know if we discussed that yet.
Yeah, didn't Ira find it?
Yeah, what did you do with the contents of the bag?
Nothing yet.
There's still a bunch of dead bodies and
there's still a bunch of dead bodies. And in fact, right now I start pulling them all out and laying them all over the room.
Do you really?
No.
Food for the vampires.
It potentially could be a nice gesture. Hey guys, I brought you food for dinner.
But yeah,
a little old.
I mean, it holds quite a bit, so just yeah, I mean, do you guys seriously want to leave your stuff behind that we can track all the way up here and then we're trapped in a tower on our way out if we have to leave in a hurry?
Well, won't it be weird if I bring my sword with me?
I mean, you could put it in your backpack with the head. Are you bringing the head?
Of course I'm bringing the head. I'm not gonna
Why?
leave it here.
Alright, you should probably leave that behind, honestly.
Are you
I
sure?
would probably tuck it under the bed. Yes, pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Strahd would not be super excited about one of his minions' head floating around in your backpack.
It's also just not really good
hygiene?
table manners. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I can try to gussy up your sword a little bit so we can make it look more decorative, and it would kind of like fit your aesthetic a little bit.
He like takes out the head. Is it still like dripping with blood, or is it like mostly dried up at this point?
Sure,
It's
as fuck.
no, it's
Like 2 days.
it's relatively dry. You're good.
He puts it underneath the pillow of the bed.
I think Anderson just claimed his territory for tonight if we stay here.
Are you bringing your sword to dinner?
I figured we would just carry it downstairs and maybe leave it outside the door.
Well, to be fair though, I am a werewolf. Got claws. I might not need it.
Right. So
Can I
I
borrow
mean,
your silver dagger?
Sure. And I hand him one of my silver. I mean, the only silver dagger I have.
Can I try to hide that on my person? And I think I'm just gonna wear my cloak and leave the studded leather armor off. Try to make it look
like we're trying.
like it all fits together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
Anybody else doing anything particular with their armor or trying to conceal anything to the dinner party?
I mean, I still have that scarf from the carriage, so I will do my best to incorporate my breastplate with the scarf so it looks fancy and decorative. And then, of course, I've got my dress on underneath, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to wear my belt, Bill Giant Strength. I have my candle, my holy book, and some holy water, like in my pockets.
Okay.
I'll try to get some creases in my outfit.
You do
Did
your
we
best.
leave all of our stuff in the carriage, or did we bring it up with us?
We brought it up.
Yeah,
I figured we brought it up with us, yeah.
I mean, we could just leave it outside the door as we go in for dinner, and then it's there when we head out.
But they could take
Maybe.
it.
I mean, they could, but they could also take it if we leave it up here.
Are we not? Are we not spending the night?
I don't know if I'm comfortable with that, Nico.
Just maybe we're planning in case we're like, yeah, you know, we're going to appreciate the offer that you extended us, but we are going to leave early and leave the room alone.
You hear a distant knock and a voice. Dinner's going to be cold if you wait very much longer.
Can I fit my shield in my backpack, or is it too big?
It's probably too big.
Okay. In that case, I'll hide 2 daggers in my backpack.
Alright, this is ridiculous. I'm leaving my stuff in the room, and
I'm
go out.
also leaving my stuff. We can either trust Strahd and be fine, or we can't and we die.
We're here. We're here. You know.
Yeah. Well, he did say no harm would come to us, and I don't want to trust him, but
I can't
Well-
imagine he's going to say, no harm was done to you, but I took your shit.
I can totally imagine that. Yep, totally can.
I'm gonna leave
that was not part of
everything
the promise.
behind beside the never-ending spice bag.
Just in case the food is bland.
A diamond, as well as my spell focus, the family diamond.
I'm going
my
to
ring.
make a big show of having to carry my backpack and everything with me. See what they
you know
say.
what? Anderson will take Ira's lead. He'll leave his stuff behind because I mean, worst comes to worst, I turn into a werewolf, and that's like my main attack.
All right, last call.
Yeah,
Anybody?
I guess we're good. I've got my knapsack and whatever, and I'm still fully armored.
We take a bio.
Yeah, we can do that real quick. BRB dishes.
BRB
I will.
dishes.
Unequip my shield though, and just kind of hang it on the backpack.
Okay.
Nope.
Go ahead.
BRB.
It'd be really funny if Anderson came back in a tuxedo.
That would be funny.
He covered up his camera.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
He's changing into his tuxedo.
That's hilarious.
Hey.
On that whole bit with Gertruda, I need an adult.
You need to tell them where she touched you?
Yep.
I got the doll. Oh no, you got the doll still,
I
don't
do
you?
have the doll.
Where did they touch you, Anderson?
Nico needs to take
Bring
notes
that
for
to
his
dinner.
flirting.
Jesus Christ, I hope you're leaving that behind.
Strahd doll. Ooh, maybe I should take that.
Oh, don't. Don't do that.
I think he would like it.
Oh. Talk about us being insulting. Because I wouldn't wear the
Unfortunate
stupid
everything.
wedding dress? No, thank you.
You
Oh,
have
think
the
you
you
would
have the
appreciate-
doll and then the vampire head like
I
holding
wouldn't chant.
Trying to make an impression on Strahd.
Using the
Become a
Strahd puppet.
ventriloquist.
I think you should go kill the adventurers, the vampire spawn.
I will do that.
All right.
Okay.
The seriousness.
As you all finish up your conversation, you make your way out of the room And you find Escher leaning up against the wall that splits between the two stairs, one going up and one going down, taking a sip out of his drink, now also holding what appears to be some sort of cigarette in the other hand, smoking. Are you ready to go downstairs now?
Wait, where did you get that? He's pointing to like the smoking, whatever he's like smoking.
Oh, one of the common rooms on the next floor down. I found it in a drawer somewhere. They're just lying all around these places. They're meh.
Nora, can I try
Yeah?
that?
I mean, do you really want to put something in your mouth that was just lying around everywhere?
Well, I think we're gonna be doing that anyway, so.
Well, I'm hopefully it's thoroughly cooked.
And Escher, follow me. Our guests await. Or you're the guests. Our hosts, I should say. Our hosts await. And
It's been a minute since you've done this, huh?
Yes. Yes, it has been quite a while.
No shame.
And you descend the several floors, headed back down. And you make your way to the original floor. And you see in front of you the doors creak open. And you can hear, and I'm not going to play it, because there isn't any. You hear some quiet organ music. More subtle. Coming from the dinner room beyond. Move you there. See if it's... You guys can all see those?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
As the doors open up, you see a young woman with reddish hair standing on the one side, and a familiar... Oh, where is it at? Familiar, hideous creature holding open the other door. And at the end of the table, the head of the table, you see Strahd push his chair back and stand up. Welcome, honored guests. Please, have a seat.
When Panton enters, he bows courteously to the red-headed woman and to Cyrus.
The red-headed woman, as you bow, kind of flinches a little bit and shudders her head behind the door, but yet holds it open still.
Oh.
Anderson's gonna sit right across from Strahd.
The other head of the table.
If you hold down Alt and move your token,
It's Alt. I thought it was Control. Oh my gosh, thank you. Been trying to figure that out.
I'm gonna sit right on top of the table, apparently.
I'm just gonna try to follow. I'll take the one seat that's open to me, I guess.
Where are my manners? You see, I didn't want the party to just be us. I invited some of my brides, my consorts, if you will. There's... Oh, for shit's sake, they didn't have the names on their tokens. Just 1 second. Ugh.
Yeah.
Name UP feeds. Sorry, I feel so terrible. Oh, I have it right here. You see 3 women, and the familiar Escher takes a seat down next to one of the brides. One of them darker skinned, like a tan, black complexion.
This one down here.
Yeah, let me just show the handout. Where is it? Escher and...
Before I sit down, I will take off my pack and kind of set it by the door. including my weapons.
For fuck's sake. There it is. Okay. Can see.
Oh, baby.
Is
The
one
darker-
wearing a bone mask?
Yes. The darker complexion.
In the red?
No, in the white.
Oh, okay.
In the white, wearing almost a gold crown of sorts, purplish hair coming across the top, very tight rows draping back over her shoulders. This is my oldest. And she holds out her hand and he kisses it. Ludmilla. And there is also to his left, wearing the red, also a little bit darker complected, Anastasia, and she holds out her hand as well, and he kisses it. And then you have Volenta, and she just puts her head down towards the table, arms still in tight, hidden underneath the table. Her wearing a golden dress with a decorative bone mask covering the entirety of her face except for her lower lip and jaw. Also wearing what appears to be a sort of headpiece that comes around the side that has gold horns that kind of stick out, protruding forward. She does not say anything, nor extend a hand. Thank you so much for coming to dinner. I am so glad that you were able to make it. Have a seat, and food will be out shortly. Cyrus walks over.
I will go get the first course. I will get the starters. I will be right back.
Helga, the red-haired woman, Cyrus.
Helga, help me.
And they both kind of walk out of the room and disappear for a little bit. Strahd kind of sits back in his chair. I am sorry about that mishap that happened on your way here. That is rather unfortunate. I can assure you that was not of my doing, and I feel almost embarrassed that it happened. I promised you no harm would come to you on your way to or from the castle, and I am ashamed. And I can promise that it will not happen again. So,
well, we made some enemies. That was partly our responsibility.
Yes, I am aware. They are a little bit of a pain in the neck, if you will.
We're happy to help you with that pain.
Was that Strahd being funny? When he said
give
pain
me
in the neck?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Okay. 14.
No.
14.
No, that was not him being funny. He was just poor choice of words.
Okay.
He reaches down and takes a sip out of a goblet. I am sure one way or the other, the problem will sort itself out. Whether it is by my hand if I grow tired of their presence, or you all seem to be quite a capable group of individuals. Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, we have our moments. I wouldn't say that.
Well, don't
Right.
sell yourself short. You did survive the death house. That is what we call it here in Barovia.
Fitting name.
True, we did. However, I think now would be a good time to ask for your forgiveness because evidently one of our clumsiest amongst us accidentally knocked over one of your fine bottles of champagne, and we would like to take blame for that.
As
Fucking here's
as
the
Honora
bus.
said so well, we have our moments, and it's hard for some of us to sell ourselves shorter than we already are.
Is that a short joke, Ira?
Man.
I can apologize for my own mistakes, thank you.
Please, it is of no trouble. Even though it cannot be made anymore, the grapes do not exist. I am. The taste is lost to me, if you will.
If there's some way I can repay you, I didn't realize how expensive it was.
Your presence alone is repayment enough. I am happy to see that at least some of you trust my word enough to not come to our dinner table armored. And you can see him unarmored. No leather, no weapons, nothing.
When we met him at the waterfall, was he wearing armor of any type at that time?
When you met him at the waterfall, he had some leather on that you can clearly see is not on here. Okay. Some additional padding, whereas now you can see his vest, red vest is very tight. His cloak with a little bit of fur on the one shoulder, very decorative. Hair slicked back, very neat, upkept, and clean.
Well, sir, I would hate to say it, but you do have us at a disadvantage being in your house, so you would have to forgive us for any minor sort of paranoia that we may have, despite giving your word that we would be safe here.
And this is my nice armor. The nicest thing I own.
Peeks up over top of the table, looking over in your direction.
And in some cultures, a warrior arriving at the table fully armored is a compliment.
How so?
Well, the warrior tribes of the South Chult area, if the war leaders were to meet in a field of peace, if they came unarmored, it was actually a sign of weakness, and it was considered an insult.
I see. So, what you are saying is that you wearing armor is just you paying compliment to my strength?
Yes.
I see. I suppose I will take the compliment nonetheless, but it doesn't really matter. As long as you are comfortable, your home, my home is now your home for the evening. Except the lower levels. Those are off limits to even some of my most trusted consorts. So as long as you stay out of the lower levels, then we should not have a problem. And his tone gets a little more serious with nobody's response. Did I make myself clear?
It sounds like that's for our safety as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this was a dinner invite. We didn't understand that we were staying. We didn't pack for an overnight trip.
It is completely optional. I know how long it takes to get here. The weather outside is windy, rainy. I thought, the accommodations here, a soft bed, food anytime you would like. All of those things might be amenities, a way to escape the harsh reality. I take it you enjoyed the view from the carriage on your way over here, did you not?
Yes, that was very interesting.
Some of you even so much as to take a little for yourself, yes? Looking over at Nicodemus.
Yes, sir. I've really struggled being in Barovia. I was going to see if I could have that piece of glass so I could fashion myself some sort of glasses as to make the world around me always beautiful.
You know, it is my fault. My actions and my actions alone are what had sowed the distrust between us, leaving you incapable of just asking for simple favors if there was something that I could do. As you being a guest in my home, I would be honored to try to find some sort of accommodations. Maybe ask, Ludmilla, you are practiced in science. You might be able to fashion something for him before he leaves, yes? I will see what I can do. It should not be of a problem. I will just have to get his measurements. His head is... Yes, I think I could take measurements and make something for him.
So your brides have their own distinct specialties. That is interesting to say. In Anastovia and Volenta, what are your specialties?
Volenta doesn't even really raise her head from the table, and she just kind of shrugs. Anastasia. My specialty is of the unseen variety.
You bad
Let's
bitch.
just say that you will not find me if I were to stealth upon you in the middle of the night. And she taps her fork up against her plate. And with that, the first course of food comes in. Where did I put it?
Did you make an entire menu for this?
I mean, there was kind of one already prefabbed somewhere. I just happened to yoink it.
Check your doorstep. Your DoorDash just arrived.
That would be really, really awesome.
Oh yeah,
Hope
no
you're
kidding,
hungry.
right?
Yeah, I'll take a number 3 with extra fries.
Yeah.
Number 3?
Cyrus and Helga come back in holding a tray with bowls all on it, and they set them all in front of you. A pale cream colored liquid, and you can see floating meat-like chunks throughout. And as Cyrus... sorry. Let me scroll back up. As no, we'll leave it. As Cyrus starts to place all of the bowls down in front of you, you can hear him kind of chuckling to himself and snorting as he's going through. Strahd looks over and just kind of snaps his finger, and you can hear Cyrus let out a and then cuts off silent. And they begin, they finish placing the bowls in front of you and then retreat from the room. There will be several dishes that come out. If you do not like one, you can simply let me know, and I will have something else prepared in an instant. I try to have a wide variety of different foods prepared that you would not leave the table hungry. In front of you, first course, a soup. It's going to be a lobster bisque, where the lobster hails from the farthest reaches of the Sword Coast. I had it imported fresh just yesterday. The Vistani, every now and then I can bribe them to bring back fresh meals, food for us to have these type of special occasions. You raise your hand, yes?
Your microphone's off, DJ.
Sorry, I thought I had it done. Yeah, so ever since coming into these lands, I do apologize, but I've kind of become a vegetarian of sorts, almost strictly. So I push the bowl away from me.
Okay.
And as I told your manservant earlier, I'm just allergic. And I'll push mine away too.
You're allergic to lobster? Or...
Shellfish, all shellfish.
Okay.
Or anything that he might have made.
My apologies. With all of the things that I had learned about you, your dining habits since coming into Barovia seem to have been lost on me. I am simply going...
relegated to just what we can get when we came to Barovia. We haven't had a choice. This is the first time we've actually had a choice in what we wanted to eat. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Tell me about where you are from. I do not get to venture outside these mists, so it would be nice to hear about the outside world.
I feel like with that, Nora would probably just launch in about the tavern and her house and her mom and her dad and just start word vomiting all about her past.
And you do so. And while that happens, without even seeing any sort of command happen, your lobster bisque is taken away, and in front of you is a leafy green salad with several different types of nuts, some sweet fruit, as well as like some crumpled like blue cheese and some sweet dressing.
Yeah, Nora's gonna start digging in and just like, yeah, and then Mom made the best stew. Oh my god, this was before Panton decided to be a vegetarian. It was carrots and parsnips and the freshest lamb you've ever had. It was so good. And then she would read to us at night, and it was just like irrelevant details, nothing like they could pinpoint exactly where we're from, but like little pinpoint details about family life as a halfling and like,
so quick question. Do I smell any like poisons or anything like that in this food? I'm curious.
I don't know. Do you have anything that... I mean, you can give me a perception check with advantage, but I don't know if normal characters would be able to smell.
Or I guess just off, like, not necessarily poisons. I guess if it just smells kind of funny.
You can give me a roll.
Okay. Ooh, the double sevens.
smells good.
Okay. Yeah. To your nose, it smells good. About as good as any seafood like dish that you've smelled in the past. It doesn't smell spoiled. And anybody that's actually eating in it, it's very buttery, creamy, and it has a very potent taste of fresh lobster, as if there was something to it to be preserved, because it's a long ways from the Sword Coast, several days travel to get here, that there's no way to your mouth this tastes like it was caught just today and then cooked. So very, very fresh. And in comes Cyrus. As you're continuing to talk, Cyrus and Helga bring in baskets of baked bread to kind of set in as you're getting towards the bottom of your soup bowls. The bread is in there to potentially wipe them up. Strahd kind of hasn't really taken much of a bite into his food, continuing to drink from his wine. And as Helga comes, he just kind of gestures with his hand to take away the bowl. And as you see him gesture with his hand to take it away, she flinches again.
Now, what about the brides? Are they eating?
Yes, the brides are eating.
Yeah. Everyone said, right, Panton? Remember when Aunt Sarah said that was the best carrots she'd ever had?
Mm-hmm.
They were from
Yep.
our garden. Mom was so proud of those. Just continuing on. I almost sound like Panton with the enthusiastic way I'm talking.
I will attempt to interrupt Honora. Enough about us. So we know, maybe you know quite a bit about us, but frankly, we know very little about you, about your brides, about Cyrus and Helga. I mean, forgive my boldness, but what is everybody else's story here?
That's a good question, Pan. I'm especially interested in, because like you gave us pastries and breads when we left the death house. Do you bake these here on site, or are they brought in from a bakery?
A little bit of both. We do have kitchen downstairs. Cyrus is primarily our cook. Helga definitely helps in the kitchen. Cyrus came to us from Kresk. We have a long-standing tradition. I let Kresk stand, and they supply me with someone to help take care of the grounds. And Cyrus has been with us for several years now. It is hard to keep
I
track.
think he said like 50 years. Really.
They all just kind of blend together. I sleep for tens of years at a time, so really it's hard to tell. Rahadin takes care of a lot of my light work, if you will.
Kresk, is that part of your empire?
It is one of the three towns that you have encountered potentially in Barovia.
We've only been to 2, so we've just heard of Kresk from Cyrus.
Well, I'm sure before your time is through, you will meet the abbot in Kresk. It was an old monastery, and the abbot came to us probably several hundred years ago, and he is kind of taking over as lordship over there, helping. You see, a long time ago, there was serious illness that took over in Kresk, and that's the reason why you see Cyrus the way that he is. The abbot was able to heal some of the people there, but it took a special kind of magic, you see. And then the generations that came afterwards deformed in nature. Different animal parts were used to preserve the original life forms. And then the ones that came following through natural means of procreation came out with varying deformities.
Does everyone live a very long time here? Or is it just like certain people, like in the outside world, where elves can live longer?
Most of the people that live here are human in nature.
But this abbot, you said he's been here for hundreds of years.
He is something else entirely. A divine being. I have not quite put my finger on it. Truthfully, he does not concern me much. He's a little bit of a weird fellow. But I do know
you say
that...
divine?
Yes, he has got this aura around him that I can't quite pinpoint.
Like from the Dawnbringer? Or something else?
I would not say from the Dawnbringer. But then again, I've never really sat down and talked to him that much. But as for me, I'm sure you have heard lots of bad things. But I was not always like this. I was not always looked at as a tyrant. There was once a time where I was of a great military mind. I led armies. We liberated the lands of Barovia from evil rulers. In fact, this castle that we sit in now, I had built for my mother, in her namesake. Ravenovia is her name, and this is the Ravenloft. After I rid the scum from Barovia, I had this built in her honor and my father's, and I asked my family to come live with me. We could start a dynasty of our own.
And they declined?
No, they came. They came. In fact, my parents, bless their souls, they are resting. The forever rest. They, in the crypts below, where all of
And
my
it was
family lie.
Just you and your parents? Is that your whole family?
No, and you see him trail off for a little bit, staring off to the side, and you can see a little bit of anger flare up in his eyes, and then he kind of closes them, shakes it off. My brother also came, Sergei.
Where is he?
He is with my parents. He is... You know, humans, they do not live as long as someone such as myself.
They didn't get the same, I don't want to say this nicely, condition as you? Something that came after they passed away, maybe?
Something like that. Yes, we don't have to get into the nitty-gritty and the depressing things. We can keep this relatively light. I do not want to bore you with stories of death. You've dealt with enough of that here, I am sure. But my 3 brides, they have all come to me during different times of need. You see, and as he gestures to start talking about Ludmilla, the darker complexion one in the white gown, she's like, I can tell this story myself. I was a young woman, snuck in with one of the Vistani encampments. They came in and my dark skin caught the eyes. And she looks back over at Strahd. Of my beloved. And she extends her hand again and takes it and squeezes. You see, there are not very many people around, I'm sure that you've been able to see, that have my skin complexion. And, well, I'll be frank, I was thirsty for power and he was thirsty for something else. And she kind of winks at him. And he brought me in and taught me the ways of the arcane. And I've been on site ever since we eventually got married. Shortly lived before Anastasia came in. But we're all a happy family, aren't we? Yes, my dear, we are. Definitely. Looking to... Go ahead.
Can I insight check that happiness out of her mouth?
Absolutely. Panton? It sounds legit. Ira, however, you feel that there was just a slight undertone of sarcasm. In Strahd...
Towards her own happiness or towards... I guess, I don't... Sorry.
No, you're fine. You,
Towards Alice Strahd's
Oh,
She's the one who said it, right? So she probably is like, we're still a happy family.
Yeah, it's one of those where she's just speaking for them all, like, oh yes, we're still a happy family, we love each other, but there's a hint of sarcasm
I wasn't sure
to
if it was towards the other wives or Strahd.
Oh,
like
I see what you're
her
saying.
animosity.
No, it's
against the other
animosity
wives?
towards the other brides. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
But with a little bit of inflection towards Strahd in a sense that we didn't really need to bring these other two bitches into our happy situation.
Right. Okay.
Right.
And Strahd kind of leans in. I suppose that transitions a little bit to what I was hoping that we would be able to discuss.
Honora, the
What?
fourth bride.
No.
was-
What? No.
Really hoping that we could come to an understanding. You see, you all are, in a sense, stuck here. The only way you can leave is through the mists. And while I don't control the mists themselves because I am trapped here, same as you, I can allow you passage through the mists for a short time. But I was hoping that you might be able to help me. I really found taken quite a liking to Tatiana, Irina, Kolyana. And I was hoping that you could convince Ismark and Irina that all is not as terrible here in Ravenloft as people make it out to be, and that she would be taken good care of in our family.
It does seem like you guys have plenty here. It's kind of interesting that it's so nice here with all of this food in front of us, but out there people are really struggling.
They don't have to. They don't have to. All they have to do is come and ask for help. But everybody is afraid. And so they refuse. They don't want my help. They think that anybody that works with me is... I don't know. I don't know what they think. Sometimes I wonder if I even made the right decision by keeping them all alive to begin with.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Strahd? Should I just call you Strahd? Do you have title?
Yurgon Zarvich?
Baron Zarbon?
Strahd is
okay.
fine. We can be on... Yes.
I do apologize. Maybe I misheard you. You said Tatiana? Did I mishear you?
No, that is quite a messy tale. But yes, Tatiana is a name of someone that I still love. Anyways, I think
with
our
the rest
next...
of your happy family.
Yes, I love each and every one of them for their own unique things that they bring to the table.
What did Tatiana bring to you?
Happiness.
Oh, I want to see the reaction of all the other brides with that one.
Yeah.
Looking around,
God damn, fuck these rolls.
it's really impossible to see the reaction from Valenta because she has a mask on and she's sitting silently. Anastasia just kind of rolls her eyes. Ludmilla, Stoneface. You can't read her. But Helga and Cyrus come back in and remove the plates of lobster bisque. And in front of anybody that ate the lobster bisque, they set down a plate with tender beef drizzled in a dark, some sort of berry sauce, and then also vibrant greens with multiple different vegetables plated off to the side.
I will be like, I'll take one of those too. I'm not a vegetarian.
And Cyrus has still one on his plate, and he slides it in. But then
He
over
sneezes right all over it. Sorry.
yeah,
That's
no.
disgusting.
But in front of Panton,
Anderson, aren't you a vegetarian too?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't said that I am to Strahd yet, but yeah, Anderson is.
All right.
Yeah, he hasn't taken a bite out of the lobster bisque or anything else other than like maybe a piece of bread or something.
Okay. In front of Panton, looks to be a dessert of sorts. Sat down in front, it is all sorts of different berries, strawberries, like little yellow circular berries that you've never seen before, different types of grapes, and a heavy whipping cream sat off to the side. And if you taste it, it is very sweet in nature. It is my apologies. They are trying to whip something up of more substance for you, since you are not going to be partaking in the meat. But until then, there is no reason that you can't have a little dessert before your food
Well,
comes
you
out.
know, the benefit of this whole entire thing is I'm kind of tiny, so I don't really need a lot of food. So these berries will do wonderful.
Strahd still has yet to take a bite out of his food, but he now turns his gaze towards Anderson.
And Anderson, this entire time, Anderson's just been glaring at him.
With his glasses on.
Yep.
It is hard for me to take you serious with your glasses on inside. I would say that I am also not a fan of the bright light, but I try to keep things dim in here for a reason. I would not
Well,
say
Anderson
that they are...
has a condition and would really
Actually-
hate to...
Without saying anything, he just takes off the sunglasses.
But Nico
It is still
also
on.
has that condition.
Nicodemus's condition is a little bit different. His is more like
subtle.
jaundice, like just a little bit of like a pale yellow, whereas Anderson's are like piercing yellow, right?
Yeah. Yep. Like a very vibrant yellow.
And as Honora, you were talking about Nicodemus, Strahd turns to Nicodemus. Ah, that is very true. I see you and I now have something in common. I underestimated you. When we first met, I thought you were weak, scaredy cat, but you surprise me, Nicodemus.
I can surprise lots of people when given the chance. I've learned things since being in Barovia.
Tell me, what was it like when they stood in front of you, gave you choice of such amazing powers? Did it overcome your senses?
Very much so. I was very scared, very frightened for the future. I was confused. I didn't fully understand what was happening. I feel like I've made the wrong choice. But my choice has been made.
I can tell
Nora's
you.
gonna lean over and go, "What is he talking about?"
Who are you leaning over to?
Nico. I'm sitting next to him.
Okay.
I can tell you that there was a small period of time as I was standing on the upper balconies of this here castle where I thought that I had made the wrong choice. As I was being filled with arrows after watching my love Tatiana jump from the balcony to her death, I thought that I had made the wrong choice. Because when those arrows pierced my heart, I did not die. But I wanted more than anything to die in that moment. But I have been given many a second chances. And that is why I come to you now. For aid, maybe you can help me. You see, when the Barovian soul dies here in Barovia, they do not die for good. They come back. Maybe a year, maybe 5 years, maybe 100 years pass between the time of their death. But another body is inhabited by this soul, and they grow and form the likeness, and sometimes even share the memories of their previous life.
And thus we have Irina.
And I have very good reason to believe that my beloved Tatiana has been reborn into Irina Kolyana. I made my mistakes and I know that now. I would like more than anything to take back the death of my brother. As long as it meant that I could still have my beloved and she would look at me in a different way. Not as the monster the rest of this world has seen me become.
So if she were to retain her memories, she'd want to be here with you? Maybe all we have to do is reawaken her memories.
Oh no, I would not do that. I think part of my charm with Irina is that she does not know the terrible things that have happened in the past.
I'm sorry.
Can I insight check him saying charm? Was he inferring to him charming her, like magically, or?
No, he was talking just normally. I won't make you insight check for that.
Because we already ran into him trying to magically charm her, and so
Right.
there's history.
Yeah, no, he doesn't want her to remember the memories of Tatiana, but he now still realizes the error of his ways of trying to charm her, and he wants to win her over in a different way. So he's trying to start fresh.
Gotcha.
You brought it up, so forgive me for being so brash, but the monster and the circumstances of your brother's death?
Yes.
Perhaps you could elaborate on that, and if we were to help you, that might prevent us from...
Go ahead.
Might prevent us from awakening something in Tatiana?
Irina.
Or Irina?
The past is so far in the past, and it is not a pretty tale. I definitely do not like reliving it. I will say one thing and one thing only. killed my brother. But I would do it again. If it meant that Tatiana would not marry him. And instead she would marry me. I love her. And now Irina. The beauty is beyond anything that they've ever seen in this world. But enough of that. I hear there is something else that at least one of you are here for. A different purpose. Maybe I could, in a gesture of good faith, assist with such delicate issue. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Anderson? You search for something, do you not?
I know that you know.
I have been here longer than all of you have been alive combined. I know things. I hear things. You cannot ask people in the taverns, in the tents, whether or not they've heard of this Grigori without me knowing about it. I know all things.
All due respect, think I'm good. I'll find him. It's only a matter of time.
You know, Castle Ravenloft has an extensive library. Why, just the other day I was reading a book about an immortal dog. It was impossible to put down. And you see a fanged smile creep across his face. There was a joke hidden there. The book was about an immortal dog that was impossible to put down. Reading the book. No? Okay. Got it. Not funny. And he kind of, the grin...
It's highbrow.
No,
It went over our head.
Yeah, I'm not classy enough for that.
The grin fades. In all seriousness, there is a library that you could have access to for the evening if there was anything that maybe you wanted to learn. I have not read every book in the library, even during my what seems to be infinite amount of time being here. But maybe if you wanted, I would allow you to take one or two of them on your travels. Give you something to do while you stay.
And you're just gonna let me do that? No strings attached?
I am trying to create a new lasting friendship. I really want more than anything to at least have the opportunity to start off on the right foot again with Irina. And if the five of you who seem to have created some sort of impression on her could give me a good word to start it off, I would see to it that maybe you got out of here all in one piece.
What made
Question.
you decide to go on? Or did you have a choice at the time? I guess you didn't have a choice when the arrows pierced your heart and she jumped from the balcony.
It was too late. I had already made the pact. There is no going back. This is just as much my prison as it is the citizens of Barovia.
What happens to the souls of those who wander in here? What will happen to us if we die here?
There have only been a handful of adventurers that have made their way in here.
Like 43 parties, though, right? Isn't that what Madam Ava said? 47?
We're the 38th.
30, see? Something like that.
I mean, but there are hundreds upon hundreds of people
I mean, yes.
that live here, so it is. I do not keep track of every soul. But from what I understand, if you die here in Barovia, your soul lives on in Barovia.
Now, I've talked to Irina in Slang, and she told me she wasn't interested in being in a relationship with anybody. No girl talk.
Well,
Yes, I'm totally making this up.
it is a shame. But I think that she, if given the opportunity to come to see the grand splendors that I have to offer here in this castle, believe me, I respect a lot of you, some of you more than others. But if Irina was coming to this castle, it would shine. Every inch of marble would be polished. I would show her what life could be like. Something so much better than what she's currently living with. And before you know it, the rest of you are also with the same dessert platters in front of you. The different mixed fruits and berries along with the whipping cream.
Anderson speaks up, and what of Ismark?
Or Isaac.
Or Isaac?
Isaac is a lost cause. Ismark, he could come on. He could be...
And if he refused?
You see, I know that he is most protective of his sister. But if he were to see the way that I would treat her, he would have newfound respect. That is all one brother, one man wants for his sister.
That didn't answer my question.
If you were asking me if I would turn him into... Looking over at Escher, who's just twiddling his rings, kind of bored. A consort of mine. I would not. I would allow him to carry out his days inside the castle or outside the castle. It is no business of mine, really.
But you plan to turn Irina into your family?
I don't think I would have her do anything that she did not want to do at that point.
Can you tell me about the red-haired woman? Is it Hazel?
Helga.
Helga.
Yes.
She doesn't seem to want to be here. Could she go with us if she wanted to leave? Would we be able to take her with us?
Looking at you, kind of squinting his eyes a little bit. A smile creeps across his face. Yes. If you would like to take Helga back with you to town, you are more than welcome to.
Only if she wants to go, obviously. If she's happy here, we wouldn't need to take her, but
You're more than welcome to ask her yourself. And you see Helga and Cyrus coming back in to collect some of the remaining dishes. but if you don't say anything to them, they will again leave the room and shut the doors.
I think I have enough insight to know not to ask in front of Strahd.
Okay.
He'll reply and say that she likes it here.
Just checking. So what do you say? Would that prove to you that I am trying to do everything that I can to change my ways? Would you put in a good word to Irina for me? Would you convince her to come to this castle and live with me?
It was the greatest happiness you'd ever known, being with her. Is that correct?
Greater pleasure than conquering all the lands of Barovia. Greater pleasure than vanquishing all of my foes. She brought me peace until she didn't.
Until she didn't.
So
what happens when she passes away? Again, will you find her again and
repeat the cycle?
Maybe, or maybe not. Ludmilla is quite an accomplished in the arcanes, as I've taught her. She has ventured into different things, and Anastasia even knows some alchemy. I'm sorry. It has been a long day. Volenta knows some things about alchemy. The one with the mask kind of perks her head up and gives a gentle nod. Maybe they could find something to still keep her human life, but alter it to where it lasts longer, if she would like. Her brother could receive the same treatment if they would like.
Brothers.
Yes, what I said, her brother.
Brothers. 2. Got Ismark, her adopted brother, and Isaac, her real brother.
I happen to know how this is going to play out, and I think that there is only one brother that would want to be here. Anyways. Is there any other questions that you would like to ask me? You have my undivided attention. You have the utmost I lost the word that I'm looking for. I am I'm being extremely hospitable.
You are, very much so. We definitely appreciate it.
What would happen if Irina were to agree to come here?
As I said, the castle would never have shined more than if she were to be here.
I get that you would make everything beautiful, but what about Barovia? What about its peoples? What about everything outside of the castle?
She would be maybe the missing link that could help bring the people back within the fold. Show that I am not a terrible human being that they all think that I am. I am something much greater, and I can be so much more merciful than they allow me to be.
Then you'd respect her. So you'd respect her decision if she's decided not to come?
Yes.
Do I believe that?
Insight check.
Yeah, that sounded sketch.
God damn these fucking rolls!
The hesitation alone is enough for any of you that are paying attention and not just completely indulging in the food to know that there's a possibility that he would not honor that. Look, I am not going to sit here and tell you that I wouldn't be deeply hurt if she decided to, not come to Castle Ravenloft and be my queen.
Completely understandable. Rejection is not fun, but you have to respect the other person's decision.
Not to mention that you also have a lot of time.
I do.
Maybe
I
that's
would
what you
agree.
need.
It is. It is understandable. I would do my absolute best to reel in my emotions and try to understand her perspective. It is getting a little late, and I have a lot to think about, and it seems like the lot of you do as well. My entire property, except for the lowest levels, is available to you, including the place where you first came in. That would be your sleeping quarters for the night if you would wish. If not...
There was only one bed, and we're friends, but we're not that close.
Escher will make sure that there are new equivalent mattresses brought in with ample bedding. But again, the horses will run day and night. If you would rather leave, I completely understand. But I would hope that you would take the night and sleep on it, and maybe talk amongst yourselves and come to a decision tomorrow. And before you left, maybe we could talk about how we can help each other.
Very well. Thank you for dinner. It was delicious.
If
This
you need...
lobster is like being in Waterdeep again.
Absolutely. If you need anything else, any food, drink, even a tour of the place, Cyrus, or even Escher, to a certain extent, would be able to help you. I also understand that you might want to talk to Helga as well. If she chooses to leave with you, just have her speak with me, and I will trust her word, and she can leave with you in the morning. Or tonight if you wish to leave. But if you have no other questions and there is no more food that is coming out, we will be on our way. And with that, everyone, except for Escher, goes into a mist-like form and leaves through the pipes of the organ. Goes up and down into and vanishes from the room. And Escher just kind of looks around at all of you. That was quite an awkward dinner, if I do say so myself. I haven't seen such high tension. You could have cut that tension with a knife, don't you think?
Definitely a dramatic exit. They do that a lot?
Unfortunately, yes. It's not something that I have been able to master yet. I have not
Must
been
be the
given...
most convenient way, through the organ pipes.
Oh, they do that through windows, through cracks in floors, You name it, they just disappear.
So,
In the basement.
girlfriend, what's the real drama in the house now that they're gone? Dish.
Honora wants her tea after dinner.
Right. Spill the tea.
Well, truthfully, Strahd hasn't been paying very much attention to me over the last several months. I think he grows tired of me. And to a certain
Are you
extent...
one of his consorts?
Yeah.
Yes,
And
I
you weren't
am.
even... Okay. Introduced?
I wasn't going to bring anything up. You learn while you're living here with Strahd that you do not question him. You take what he gives you.
To just leave if you feel like it? If you want to leave this relationship, are you able to get out?
Oh, I haven't really thought of it. Do you think I could possibly leave these amenities and go back to shithole like Barovia or...
Yes, but couldn't
Galaki?
you be like the leader of Barovia?
Oh, absolutely not. I would much rather hate it here than hate it even more over there.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, do the ladies fight amongst themselves a lot, or we noticed
They
some
normally
tension?
stay to their own wings of the castle.
Oh, which one is their wings?
Oh, they stay down in the sub-levels mostly.
Oh,
I roam about the upper floors.
Seems like it's best not to be the one to stir up a fuss.
Oh, I would say so. I would absolutely say so.
would you think that Strahd would ignore you all if this Irina were to join the family?
Frankly,
seems-
that wouldn't be a bad thing.
But
Maybe
how do the other women feel about her?
the same as they do anytime anybody comes in. You weren't paying attention, you were all looking at Strahd, but they were all eyeing you. You're all being brought here to be tested as well. You were judged. Some of you found more worthy than others, I know that.
Worthy of what?
Maybe being like us one day. Some of you have
And
great
if I
gifts.
may ask, which of us passed?
Oh, I don't know that. I could only speculate.
Please do go on.
Well, he seemed awfully fond, and he turns directly to Nicodemus. He seemed awfully fond of you. I saw the way his eyes twinkled when he talked about whatever it is, your power.
And Nico, we need to have a long, serious talk about that.
Yeah, what was that?
Strahd
You seemed
and
to know what he was talking about, and it sounded like gibberish to me.
Strahd and I share some commonalities in our history.
Was he a priest of Lathander too?
Something like that.
You're what, 20 years old, boy?
How old's your
He's-
character?
He's
27.
daddy. He's the daddy.
I mean, yeah, I'm young, but not quite that young.
And you, little one. I'm not quite sure what makes you so special, but I could see his mouth watering a little when he was talking to you at times.
Little snack.
You're talking about Pandon, right?
Yes.
What?
You gotta specify which little one. There's two of them.
The littlest one.
Why? Hold on, wait. Why am I
do
in
not
this?
know. It is something about you he finds irresistible. Maybe something similar to what he saw in me. Not a romantic-like relationship, but it's something about your power that he craves. He's drawn to it, you know. The power.
Yeah, I don't want him to have that.
And sometimes they say the most powerful things come in small packages.
That cringe.
I am visibly creeping in my skin right now.
Well then,
So would you say Strahd is a collector of sorts?
oh, very much so. And you'll grow to see the marvelous amounts of paintings that he has strewn about the castle. The different sets of armor. You'll find plate, mail, all sorts of different pristine kept all throughout the castle, of different years of their conquest. It reminds of him of his former glory days.
It must be really, sad to live forever.
There's not much else to live for, unless you're collecting things from time periods of your life, I would imagine.
Do you think it'd be a mercy to let him go?
Oh, people have come before you. They have, at least from what I've heard, some have even succeeded in vanquishing him. But he will never truly be gone. He is the ancient. He is the land, and you cannot rid the world of land. As long as the powers that be will him to be here, they are more powerful than you, and they are more powerful than even him.
You said others have vanquished him? And he returns, I assume?
As one does.
Ooh, I imagine that. I'm surprised. I've never heard of anybody accomplishing such a feat. We were all led to believe that it's been an impossible task for millennia.
He's telling us it's impossible, because even if we were to...
Right, but I just never heard of anybody even being, successful even in...
Right, I wonder if they left or if they stayed in Barovia.
Sounds like it was a job well done and...
They moved
riding
on.
off.
Maybe a tale for another time.
Thank you, Escher. You've indulged us quite a bit.
Yes. I would like to talk to Helga before we retire for the evening. She seemed rather uncomfortable.
Okay. Well, for now, that is where we will end for tonight. And you guys will have plenty of opportunity to explore the castle further tomorrow.